As you can imagine, theater productions have a lot of stuff, a lot of props and things. And so this is where we would store those things, in the prop room. There are remnants of productions and pieces of seats from cafeterias. So these stairs here go up into the orchestra pit. If you're feeling daring, we can do that. Now, if you turn the camera and look to your right, so under that piece of plastic is the 1926 Wurlitzer organ. Is it better?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice. If you get up closer, you could actually even see the keyboards.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. Wow.
Do you mind just stating your name and what you do here?
Sure. My name is Michael Raymond, and I am the music teacher here. I've been teaching here since about 2007.
All right.
The rural community of Pawtucket was developing, and they were finding that there were students that were in need of a higher education, and their schools had continued to grow until they outgrew them, and now they said, we need a big building. And they spent, I think, $1.7 million to build this building, which is approximately 72 million right now. They spent a lot of money, and they did everything right, and they said, let's build a building that has everything we need and is beautiful. They had plans for everything. They were addressing every aspect of their core subjects, as well as job training and careers that these students could go on to succeed in. And as I said, it was 1926 that the cornerstone was laid. In 1927, they were done. It took like 18 months or something to build this rather large building, which was pretty impressive considering the time and the size of the building. Well, the auditorium would have been used for everything that the school would host for events. I have seen pictures of theater productions that were done here. I have seen pictures of concerts and things. There also is a projection room, so it's highly conceivable that they would have been doing movies, showing movies here. In 1926, those movies would not have had sound, so it is also conceivable that they would have been silent films. I have heard, just through word of mouth, that very famous vaudevillians came and performed here, and there was another theater in Pawtucket that they would kind of do two stops, and they would come and they would perform. So theoretically, you could have seen anything here. You could have seen operas, you could have seen dancing, you could have seen ballets, you could have seen theater productions, you could have seen comedians, you could have seen movies. If you turn and look above that painting, you'll see what looks like a window and has some fabric. That's actually the front of the pipe chamber for the pipe organ. Now we're sort of walking in reverse order, but if you were an audience member and this was your destination, you would come this way from the lobby, which features some really beautiful glass work on the exit signs. It also has some beautiful tiling.
But
How rare of a find would you say Tolman was?
I honestly, I have performed on many stages, and there aren't too many left that are like the theater in Tolman High School. I walked in and I had to catch my breath, because a theater of that size in the middle of Pawtucket is very rare, and the fact that all of the original murals were there, and just the detail in the architecture, it blows most people away. when they first walk in.
So I remember being in the car and listening to my mom call up theaters and be like, we need, how much seating do you have? We need this kind of theater, this is what we're looking at, and they're all like crazy expensive and not good locations for us. And then they started talking about this Tolman building, and we were like, Tolman High School in Pawtucket, okay. We were excited, and then Mrs. Rocco came back and she said, this is huge. You're not gonna believe it's a full stage. We have curtains, we can do all this cool stuff with it. And I didn't really understand what she was talking about until I got on the stage.
Soon we started asking, you know, well, what can we do? What else can, besides coming in and rehearsing, is there anything we can do to just help the place get spruced up a little bit? And I think that first year was when we painted backstage, and we started cleaning and just taking care of it. There were corners of that stage that hadn't been cared for in a long, long time, and us giving it attention really helped a lot.
With the potential of the stage, it's a great space and there's a lot of things that we could have done with it. And there's so many people that are interested in it, but this school is so sports-centered that no one's worrying about it and no one knows about it. So for everyone that wants to do like performing arts, there's nowhere for them to go because this is such sports and there's no performing arts.
Like concerts to a certain extent, like not rock concerts or anything loud and brassy, but you know, shows like the Stadium Theater in Woonsocket. I was telling Jen, I was there about 2 months ago, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, this could be Tolman.
Right.
You could actually
very easily be Tolman.
It's a very similar type building, and to have entertainment and have shows come in and use it as it was intended to be used would be really, really fabulous.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping Pawtucket and the school department would consider that.
Yeah,
You've got this gem here, use it, please use it.
I remember the first production we did, we brought in, I think like the most we brought in was 200 a night, around there. And I remember walking out the second production, which was Annie, and there was like 400, 500 people a night. And just that feeling, it was so huge.
It's a whole different place.
It's like dynamic, the way when you would act and sing and you could feel
the energy.
You could feel the energy, you could feel it like your voice resonating off of the audience. It's mind-blowing. So I can't imagine the whole, was it like 1,200 seats?
Yeah, 1,400. 1,200 to 1,400, I think.
Yeah.
I can't imagine all those seats being filled with just fascinating people who are here to experience the story being told.
I mean, if I could just dream and not be worried about finances or grants or licensing or whatever.
We'll take care of that.
If I could just dream, I see the potential for that stage to be completely renovated, for it to be a space that Pawtucket can offer to outside groups, that they could have touring companies come and use the stage, and that it could almost become a hub for the arts. And it's right there in the center of Pawtucket, right on the river. I mean, there's so much potential for the location itself, let alone the fact that it's this gorgeous 1927 theater. There's the potential for shops, and I mean, there's already the GAM Theater right behind. There's artist lofts right next door to Tolman. There's a warehouse with some artist space, and maybe we can all work together. So that's my dream. And on top of that, that it would benefit the Tolman students, that they would finally have a drama program, that the stage wouldn't just be used for gym class, but that...
And chorus.
And chorus, yes. But that they can actually do some productions of their own, some acting workshops, and that they can benefit from more of the arts.
I think that if I could see anything improved about just this portion of the school, I mean, the school is a large space, but just this auditorium, I would love to see it be that community hub again. I would love to see and hear that everyone in Pawtucket knows about the Tolman Auditorium and knows that they could go there and see something wonderful on a weekend, or they could go and they could take their family to a production, or they could use the space as well, as if they were a performer, they could use it for themselves. I think that if we can get more people into this space, they will love this space. And I think that if we can bring back beautiful music and bring back great productions, the space would love that, if that makes any sense. The space is very, is craving to be used again.